Hello, hello, change makers. We are back with another exciting interview today, and I promise you it will not be boring. We've got one of my sisters from another mister here today, and oh my goodness, Teresa Dudley, we are so happy to have you with us today. How are you, girl?
I am wonderful. I'm with you today.
Thank you, thank you. We are so honored, no doubt about it. So, tell us a little bit about you because you're in a space where you are working on transitioning. So, tell us a little bit about what's been going on in your world most recently and where you're starting to feel like perhaps you should go.
Well, my name is Teresa, and I spent my life around a lot of abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, spiritual abuse, emotional abuse. And with that all being said, I started a healing journey 10 years ago, and I was learning how to heal me. And I started with my mind. Um, as you know, when you're an abused victim, you have a lot of bad emotions, depressions, anxiety, panic attacks, whatever, insecurities, la. You know what those are. And it really played a terrible role in my life, um, created a bunch of chaos in my life, and so I chose to start fixing that. And I was challenged by using frequencies, and which I thought was BS, with my belief system back then. And so I was challenged for 30 days. And 30 days, I was like, wow, that does more than any doctor's ever done in all these years, and I started my healing journey from there. And the very first thing I healed was those nightmares from all the trauma I had, and I was able to sleep without waking up in the middle of the night screaming. And the neighbors wondering what in the world is going on, because I'm screaming at the top of my lungs at night. And then now I can go to work, and I can function every day without having backflashes of all this and that. And then that carried on to my health. I started learning how to get rid of all these prescriptions that I was on for the depression and anxiety. And it wasn't helping me, and it was making me worse with all these side effects. I had a heart attack, so I learned how to heal my heart.
Oh my God.
Um, yes, with a mineral juice called Electro Mineral Enhancement. I got from Patrick Lindley,
Mm-hmm.
and that in return started healing my lungs, because by accident I didn't know I was just taking it over and over, and it was like a year I've been taking it. And next thing you know, my asthma, I mean, I was asthmatic, really bad asthmatic. I had a nebulizer machine, 3 inhalers, taking steroids, I mean, you name it. And after a year taking this mineral juice, that's what I call it, it healed my lungs from
Wow.
asthma. And yes. And 7 years ago, I moved here to Georgia. So I was like, okay, well, let's try this out. Let's see if I really did heal my lungs, and let's go to the mountains, because that's going to tell me if I did. And here I am 7 years later. I'm in the mountains and the oceans. I'm tearing houses apart, building houses. I'm just doing all kinds of stuff. And I haven't used a nebulizer machine. I haven't had no steroids. I haven't had no nebulizer, anything. I haven't done anything. So then I went from that to um, now I don't get sick with the flu no more. I haven't been hospitalized no more.
Oh,
Um,
but wait a minute.
yeah.
We do need to talk about because you've learned a lot about the body's ability to heal. You've got to talk about your foot.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, that was my biggest challenge yet. Was I went to the mountains and me of all people blows my ankles out, both sides, completely blows them out, disconnects my foot from my leg, and tears all of my muscles and ligaments all the way up to my hip, right? And here I am, stubborn, refused to go to the hospital, but I was forced to go to the hospital anyway because they were like, Teresa, you cannot fix this. So I was like, oh, yes, I can watch. And they're like, oh, no, you got to go to the hospital. So they took me to the hospital, and here I'm cussing the whole time going there. I was very angry. I didn't want to go, but I was in a lot of pain. And I was like, okay, fine. So I let them set it. And that's it. That's all they did. And from there on, I went and researched myself how to heal my leg. And I looked up a holistic chiropractor, and I went to him, and he was like, oh my God, I've never even seen anybody like you before. He says, I've never experienced anything like this. He says, okay, well, I'm game. Let's learn something new together. So we did. We learned together, and he gave me some vitamins with superfoods, and we used frequencies on my leg, and just look at me
Mm.
now. Look at me now. I put easy 10 to 15 miles a day on my feet. Now don't get me wrong, my leg still swells up to this day if I overdo it. But I know how to baby my leg now and my feet or my foot um, to carry on. And that's why everybody just looks at me like in awe, going, how in the hell are you doing this? How are you doing this? And then the tremendous strength that I have more strength now in my 50s than I ever did in my 20s. So, I was like, it pushed me to want to push even harder. I was like so determined, and I didn't care when my foot was broke. I couldn't get up and walk on the crutches like everybody else was because of all the nerve damage all the way up to my hips. So I crawled on the floor for the longest time, and I was still doing houses. 3 days after this happened, I was hopping myself right up in that pickup truck, and I was still working with tears, mind you, lots of tears, and I was crying and pain, but I was doing it. I was
Oh
doing it.
my
I
God.
never stopped.
I
That's what
remember the
kept me
photos.
going. That creativity is what kept me going. Believe it or not.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for
Hmm.
saying that, because that's one of the things that we're trying to help more people understand. The brain is happy when it can create. And so you were in
Hmm.
this constant creation process, both with your foot and by remodeling houses. Just amazing. And didn't they want to do surgery on the foot? Didn't they say
Yes,
that you
it
really
was.
needed
It
to
was so
attach your
bad. It
foot?
was. Oh, my foot was in so many pieces that they were like, "You have to have surgery." Well, I don't go to the doctor, so I don't have insurance. And I sure was not going to buy insurance, and I sure wasn't going to have them to even touch my foot because they had all that testing that I just won't have nothing to do with. Um,
Yeah.
yes, I just refused, and it was in
Oh,
me.
that
I refused. There was nobody going to touch it. I was going to fix it. That was the end of the story right there, and I did too.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You know you have to write a book, right? You know
Well,
this.
that's funny because Jenny sent me something in Messenger today about writing a book. That is funny how you said that because Jenny did sent me something about I need to write a book.
Yeah, absolutely. There is no doubt about it, because you can provide so much hope and healing for other people just with your story, if you're not even doing anything else. And yet I know you have the potential to do so much more. And I know you're in this transitioning phase. So, I already consider you a change maker, regardless of what you're doing. Although I know everywhere you go, you help to change the perspectives of people. You were just telling me some of those stories. So I'm just curious, do you have any kind of a vision kind of starting to formulate in the future here for you, 5 years out, 10 years out? Any idea what you're going to be doing?
I have to heal. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I hear a lot of people say I need to be a speaker, maybe I need to be a speaker in this, or I don't know, but I would love to travel to go around and help as many people as possible. That's all I know at this moment. And I'm just gonna go where the pieces are taking me right at the moment, one day at a time.
Well, there you go. That's the best way to do it, is to just follow the divine breadcrumbs, as some people likes
Hmm.
to call them, and they show up and you keep on moving. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness. Your story is very inspirational already. So I can't wait to see where you go in the future with it.
Well,
Holy cow.
wait till you hear about why I went back in the pit and what I've learned there. I really got a deeper meaning of everything and the lessons that I had to learn why I was there.
Oh my. Oh my. Do you have an
Yeah.
abbreviated version to share of that?
Yeah, well, let's just say when I went back into the pit, because we have light workers here that just has their own little calling, and I was I needed to go back into the pit, one, to pull others back out, which I am very good at doing that, and two, there was triggers in me from my past traumas that I have not healed and hadn't surfaced. So going back to, let's just say, I went to our enemy.
Mm,
And what a better place to do that, um, because the whole environment is nothing but negativity.
yes.
And
Yes.
so going into an environment where there's nothing but negativity, and will create a lot of triggers in
Mm.
anybody, especially people like me. So I had an attitude about being here to begin with. I didn't want to do this, So I was the rebel child trying to get out of this, and the universe said, "Oh no, 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 no! Spank, 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 spank! You're going to do this," And yeah, I learned some valuable. Let's just say a lot of triggers were surfaced, and I was able to see things at a deeper meaning. So, before I didn't want to be around other people that wasn't spiritually aligned with me because they
Mhm.
irritated me,
Right.
and all that was showing me that I could see now. I wasn't seeing it then. Was I was just being a bully. That's all I was.
Ooh,
Being a
okay.
bully. And,
Okay.
and and just because we're spiritual, when you treat people like that, you're still a bully
Yes.
regardless. And
Yes.
I was being a bully. My ego was big, and so it taught me to go back down, to their level, and I had to really see them all, because they're all just people like I was. They're all hurt, unhealed versions of me. I mean, really, because everybody's a reflection of me, because when I see them or you or whatever, you're just a reflection of me. So they were all, unhealed versions. And I had to learn to process all this and bring more love into my heart, open my heart up a little bit more. And once I started doing that, then it was like things really started changing. And then I started seeing progress, because you cannot you cannot get anybody to hear you unless you are doing it yourself and
True.
improving yourself. And that matches with what I was learning in my lesson today too. I was like, it's funny how all these pieces are like coming together, but it's true. It's true. And I've learned a lot about um, relationships. I mean, on a really deeper level, I'm like, and then understanding me, a little deeper, going, gosh, I was just such a butthead, and I'm like, and no wonder I always flunked that unconditional love class because I didn't have I didn't have it in me. That's what the problem was. I didn't have it in me. So this place actually taught me.
Wow.
It opened me up a lot, and now because of that I've learned the lessons. I'm being rewarded, with things that are meant for me now. So all these little pieces are coming in pretty quick. Yeah, so it gets my heart going. But it's good.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
good. It's good because it puts a smile on my face.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, in the last few days in the interviews here, everybody seems to be talking about, things about self-love and worthiness. And man, if we can't learn those things, then you're right. The whole world will reflect all the other stuff at us.
Yeah, you're not gonna get very far if you're gonna hold that in. I mean, like I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
You're just gonna still be a bullier, and you're still not gonna get what you want, and you know what I mean. You're not gonna manifest nothing. So, and I wasn't at that
Oh,
time.
wow. Well, my dear friend, I'm going to welcome you to the fast track because that's what's kicking into gear for a whole lot of people right now. And I'm sure you will be one of them. So, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and learn more about your story and, maybe get some of that heartfelt preaching that you do once in a while, how
Oh,
can they
I can
reach you?
do it too.
How can they reach you?
They can get a hold of me on my personal email is 1970 dud at gmail.com. Again, my Gmail is 1970 dud at gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, and we will also encourage people, they can always put comments under the video. This is going to be in the Facebook group and it's also going to be on my YouTube channel. So I've actually been really thrilled. There's been quite a few people looking at the videos on YouTube as well as in the Facebook group. So
Yay!
who knows who you'll get connected to? We like to talk about how we bump into people all over the world. So
Yay!
yay, that's what we're up to. Well, dear, as I get ready to wrap this up here today, do you have any final words of wisdom you'd like to share with everybody?
Just be you. Don't listen to nobody else when it comes to your life. Listen to you and be you.
Ooh, succinct and powerful. That's what we love. Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us here today, Teresa. It has been a joy as always. And everybody, thank you for watching. And, this is a firecracker right here. So if you're looking to spice up your life, you might want to be in touch with Teresa. She will not let you down. So we will see you all in the next interview, everybody. Thanks for being here. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.